Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. I recently had somebody ask me about the TVP VTU, probably one of the more popular tanks in the game. You hardly go a game without seeing one of these things, and they really just rack up the damage. It's a fantastic tank. I mean, it's the meta. Not a single word of that is true, other than it is a TVP VTU. A Tier 8 Czech medium tank, and it is massive. It is a massive tank. Hugie. So we are here on Ruinberg, and I'm going to show a little bit about how to play the VTU. What's the VTU got going for it? It's got a pretty good gun for a Tier 8 medium. We take a look at it here. We are dropping 320 damage. 188 pin, not great. 235, pretty darn good for APCR, actually. At Tier 8 on a medium, really good. We're going to sit here and kind of watch this thing happen. Waiting for shots. We are bottom tier, so the last thing you want to do with a TVP VTU is go to some hole down corner and start poking your turret around. At least close places. Here, okay, you're being careful. The turret is mediocre. Not going to bounce much of anything tier 9 or 10. So what you're trying to do is minimize your exposure in this thing, but at least get its gun in the game, because it is dropping some pretty good damage. You see I'm platooned with Natso. He's driving his VTU. He's gone up to the little village over there on the east side. So I'm just looking for a way to get this gun in the game. Considered a couple times going to that corner, but once you do that, your rear end is exposed to anyone who wants to come around over there. The way they've redone this map is unfortunate, because this position here has a huge advantage when spawning in from the north. When spawning in from the south, the Reds have a huge advantage taking the courtyard. You'll see the 110E5 was able to push across, and we've got multiple guys in the corner here. Where our Mouse and Type 4 Heavy are, is very difficult to push around because of the anchor points at G1 and about G2 for the red team. So while your team, if you spawn in the north, is going to own the middle road more than likely, the enemy team is going to own the courtyard. So it's quite imbalanced as far as that goes, unless you consider the two imbalances a balance. That's according to taste. But back to the TVP. Pretty large tank. You can see how big it is for a medium. You do want to be careful about exposing it because it's easy to hit. The turret is not very great, so people are going to pin it. There's a shot, and the accuracy is okay, not amazing, but definitely okay. And the 320 Alpha is nice. So we got a Carnarvon coming in here. I'm just about reloaded, but come on, dude, there we go. I'm trying to not shoot the Progetto in the back of the head. That's always a good thing. Now they've cleared out the 110E5. That was a good kill, and sort of pushed back. The Carnarvon's run off, and now we just have a T10. So I'll start thinking about moving up, but there's the T10. So what you've got to watch out for with the TVP is it is pretty mobile, and you will be tempted to make moves like that, but they're unsurvivable a lot of times if you're out in the open, just because it is such a pinata. Bouncing off the highly angled upper hull of a T10 a little bit there, that's not going to go well. And I really don't want to try to stand in, because he'll go right through my turret, and I will bounce off his turret and hole all day. And then we have a T95 coming in. So this is a worst case kind of scenario for a TVP, stuck in back here, having to poke out to take shots and not really having the armor to do so. This guy's just fired, so we'll go ahead and track him just to annoy him and keep him down for a bit. I see the Mouse come around the corner, so maybe the Mouse can start working on this guy. And then every time I reload, I'll come out when I can. Kind of paying attention to what the 95 is looking at. There he goes. There's a shot out from the 95, so that's an opportunity to come around and maybe put another shot into his track. There we go. And somebody got a hit on there, whether it was the Mouse or Type 4, I don't know. Somebody else looks like they fired into it. And look how long that reload is. So one of the things you are paying for your 390 Alpha is a relatively long reload, especially for a medium. So you're going to have trouble dueling mediums. If you get into a turning fight or something with a T-54 or one of the Soviet mediums, you're going to have a hard time beating him. We're starting to win, so I just take it on the road here and push right into this guy, hoping that he's really fixated on the mouths, which he is. I can see that we're coming around behind him there, so I come on in here, and fortunately I don't come far enough left, and down he goes. So I get the track damage on him. We got a T10. I'm going to come around here and surprise this guy a little bit. Hello. And he gets a shot right into me. So he wasn't as surprised as I would have liked. I will out-reload a T10. It looks like he's quit. Get a little more damage in on him. Plus the tracking, and we'll come back around here. And again, it's a TVP, so I'm going to go from cover to cover. I'm not going to drive straight down the road. That's not really a good idea for any tank. But especially for something as squishy as this tank, you do want to be careful about that kind of thing. Try to work my way around that anti-aircraft gun. He's turning his turret. I'm like, oh, I hope he's not reloaded. Let's get him. No, he goes down. And unfortunately, I also fire into him. And all that's left is the stirve. So I won't make you watch that. Actually, I think I might get a shot now I think about it. Do I get a shot? I don't know. No, I do not get a shot. 2,000 damage, no kills, bottom tier. Getting the gun into the game, but getting the gun in carefully is going to be the name of the game with this tank. Not always easy to do. As you can see, it's a big, big medium. It's really heavy size overall. So it's kind of a hard time using some of the smaller cover that some of the hover mediums like the Russian mediums can use. You do have to be careful. You can see that big flat plate on the front. Whatever little armor it has, big flat plates like that are not going to help it very much. It does have some weird angles here and there, so it will get the lucky bounce once in a while, but it is very indifferent armor-wise. Its only trick is the big gun, and even that is not amazing. It's good, but it's not amazing. So you can surprise people on occasion who are maybe sitting on 300 and expecting they can take a hit from you, and you can take them down, but you know, that's not really something you're going to go into every battle with and say, hey, I have a 320 alpha gun, I can beat your 240, and that makes me that much better. Because the truth is the DPM is comparable to the rest of the tier 8s. All right, let's get another example. Two examples. I forgot I had this one, so I just want to show you something. This is kind of one of those what not to do with the tank. Because it's got a big stick, it's going to tempt people to want to get right up in front, and that is kind of a aggressive move that I will make very often in mediums. But the problem is it just doesn't have the armor to do so, and you can see I'm getting absolutely torn up by AMX 1357s, which are both sitting up there and they're platooned. Not even enough armor really to handle them. There's a couple bounces in there, but you can see that most of them are going through. I make a foolish decision to come up north here and try to look for these guys, but it just further illustrates how poor the armor is on this thing. I am obviously spotted by these guys the whole way, so I'll come in, I get a shot on the Progetto, and just both of them have reloaded their clips, and down I go. I don't know, there's one bounce, I got one out of it. I'm just getting hammered and hammered and hammered and hammered, and I think I die here pretty quickly. One more shot takes me out. Little side armor. Nope, I actually survived it. No, there we go. Tiger came around the corner and finishes me off. So, a good example that a lot of mediums will be able to go into that situation and not push around the corner into those heavies down there, but turn around on some lights and have a reasonable expectation of bouncing. You can see that this thing simply isn't going to do that, especially with gold rounds being spammed at you. One of them was shooting pure gold, the other one was shooting the silver. But even the silver was penning me, as you can see. And it's a big target as well, right? So a pretty bad dispersion kind of tank like the 1357. Taking pretty long-range shots and still nailing me over and over and over again. Not really missing at all and penning. So it is a tank that is very easy, if you're not careful, to get shredded in quickly and be out of a fight quickly. I was the first guy to die here with a whole 648. Let's move on to another example. The last example, I am here, bottom tier, but only 2 tiers, so 1 tier down. We're on airfield, spawned into the west side, and I'm going to use the tank's mobility to get up in an advantageous position. So it is fast enough to get to these kinds of positions, provided that position has the cover, that you don't, it's not requiring hold down fighting or anything like that. And airfield has this little sniper spot, so it is certainly fast enough to get up here. See if we see somebody crossing. Nope, and you really don't want to sit there with that tank. We'll come up here. Now the accuracy is decent, but can be problematic at times. We'll zoom in on this guy and see how we do. There we go, we get a shot. So that dropped 303, a little bit of a low roll. There's a shot into that guy. They've pushed pretty hard down in the south, So Natsu and I are just going to sit up here and try to get some shots on guys who are being unwise in the middle. So put another shot there, 310, little low roll there. T44 is still sitting in that spot, and he'll cover up here pretty quick. Hoping he comes through here. RU pushes in. There we go. Get another shot on him. Light that guy on fire. Looks like he's got an automatic extinguisher. I don't have 6th sense in this tank, so I think I'm not sure, to be quite honest. Seems like I should have been spotted, but we'll find out later when I am no kidding spotted. We got an even 90 sitting down in there, lighting up the RU with a proxy light. We're attempting to clear out these guys in the south, and now I've turned around. And these guys are going to be a huge problem. A 257 and an RU. I've got to push gold. I've got about a 250, is that what it was? 235 penetration, which is enough if I can get the right angle or get into their lower plate here. So we'll take that, but boom, it just bounces right off that. I'm not going to get that pin there, not at that angle. And we've got guys on every side. It'd be really nice if we could clear these guys out down in the south. That's what we're looking to do. There we go. Get rid of him. And I'll cover up. So it can take forward positions, provided it's a position like this where it can cover itself up and isn't having to rely on its armor at all. Come in here and try to get rid of this guy. Not a very well aimed shot. We'll cover back up here. We got a decent lead going on, 3-1. A couple of their 9s, one of their 8s. We're only down an 8. But they've got their big heavy armor up on this corner, and a bunch of ours is down the south. The Marbrecker's down there. Not a bunch, I guess one is, and a couple scouts. So now we've got a guy pushing across. Put a shot into the 4202. That's definitely going to have me spotted, so I don't have 6th sense, clearly. That answers that question. T32's over there. I'll wait till I go dark before I poke on the 32. His back end is poking out. You can see the accuracy is okay, but even the dispersion circle was still quite large at that range. So I get a good roll as far as the RNG on the dispersion goes, and it goes where more or less where I shot it. Depression is okay, mediocre. 257's been whittled down pretty good. Would be nice to get rid of him. Would also be nice to get rid of this 4202. Keeps lighting our 251. 251, that was not wise for whatever reason. He dives up to the top there and gets killed. And we've still got some guys trolling around down in the south. Standard B gets out the 252, and we're starting to win over on this side. And all of a sudden I am spotted by something. T44 gets a shot on me. More than likely there's something in one of those bushes in the middle that I can't see. And it's probably the ELC, even 90. So there's another shot in towards us, so he's spotting us. I don't realize it while I was watching this game that it probably is the ELC that's in one of those bushes right there. And he's spotting me every time I pop out. Natsu's getting shot from every direction. And every time I move, he moves. It's possible the even 90 moved out. I didn't get shot. That doesn't mean I didn't get there. There you go. So they do see me. It's just somebody didn't quite have a shot, and I was able to luckily move out of the way randomly. And that's about the time I figured out that, all right, there is definitely somebody in that bush right there. So I'll just do that. Looks like I didn't hit him because some dust kicked up, but let him know I know he's there. We got a decent lead. We're at 6-4. And all of that is basically an illustration that the tank, if used carefully, can be good. Now what you're going to see here is what happens when you overextend with the tank. We were starting to win. I was looking to press, maybe to start taking some guys out. See if we could finish this battle up. I got a couple near deads here, so I'm thinking surely I can cruise in here. I'll take down this Oho. There we go. I got him. The Rev nails me for 429. That hurt. I get hammered by the Scorpion G, and all of a sudden I'm at 259 hit points, and I should have pushed into the 4202, but I'm way too slow to back up. And I'm like, not so, look out, dude, don't get me hit. And then boom, he didn't stop me or slow me down. I just could not quite get around the corner. Scorpion G is up in that sniper spot right there, and I would have had to got gotten about here before I was even safe from that guy. So things can go south in that tank really quickly. Now that can be said about a lot of tanks if you jump out in front of 3 guns like that. But you can see that that tank's going to have zero chance of bouncing really any of those, barring a really lucky hit. So it's not like I took a heavy around that corner, hoping that I might bounce a couple that it would be a little more difficult to take me down. It's just boom, 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 3 shots, it's over. I got nothing left. All right, some examples of the TVP. Decent mobility, can get you in and out of the fight pretty well, but you don't want to get into the fight where everyone's shooting at you or concentrating on you. You're more of a support tank. I hesitate to say that. I don't like that term. That's a tactic during the match, not a style of tank. But what that means is you need to get your gun into the game, but you got to do it carefully. You can't be the focus, the take the brunt of everything. Look for those kind of assassination areas and the times when you can pop out and give that hard 320 hit point, 320 alpha shot into somebody. And it can be a difference maker, but you've got to maintain your hit points, and that's not easy in the TVP VTU. I hope this helps. I can't even remember who it was that asked me. But anyway, whoever it was, I hope this helps you with your TVP. Good luck with that. The next tank's a lot better.